What's up, YouTube? Today I wanted to talk about fake news, this whole spiel that's been ever since Trump has become president has become such a big thing, and how it ties into corporatism and how it's just really becoming a freaking cancer on America, really around the world too, because now you could see European leaders around the world and some other leaders too are now using this term fake news. And that's the thing in a capitalist society. This everything, anything, and everything that happens in society always boils down to selling something in a capitalist society. Let's just be honest here. You know, you could be a shooting massacre. The NRA is probably going to try and convince you to buy more guns. There's a health epidemic. They'll try and scare you to getting this pill, eat this food, all this type of nonsense. But the example I'm going to use today is about the illustrious Wall Street Journal. You know, the publication that proposes not just stories about the market, although they tend to focus on stories about the market, new CEOs, company buyouts, new technologies, all that type of stuff, as well as covering traditional news sometimes, such as military operations, all that stuff. Now, my story begins. I'm a UCR student, yes, University of California, Riverside, just so you know. And I took a Business 101 class because I'm about to graduate soon, come June. Now, this class, it's no surprise to me. I mean, I've taken many classes that make me buy things, which is always annoying, whether it be some like a little app or an additional service to the class just to do something simple like take attendance, which is ridiculous and obviously just a scam to get more money out of students. But moving on, and this particular class required for us students to get a 10-week subscription to the Wall Street Journal. Now, granted, because I'm a student, you get a little special deal. It's like $1 a week. But I mean, to sum up the class usage of it, didn't really use it all that much. It, I wouldn't even. I'm saying just $1, but hey, we're college students here. We live off our loans and whatever minimum wage job we have. So hey, I can't say. Obviously, I'm not going to be using this crap in the future. But let's get to the highlight of the story that I'm trying to tell here. So basically, this quarter is coming to an end. My finals are like basically all this weekend, and so I go to the website to cancel my subscription. The entire time I used it, I'll say this: the entire time I had the subscription, I basically never used it, and the reason for that is, well, I'll get to that when I get to the main meat of the story. But basically, yes, I tried to cancel the thing today. So like your traditional website, like I'm not gonna lie, I have credit cards and stuff like that, and other things, So if as we all know, credit cards, bills, all kinds of websites have the simple option of, if you don't want auto payments, you simply go to the website, you click the auto payment thing off. No hassle. You don't need to do anything. Email somebody, call somebody, do all this. We're going around in circles to do it. You simply just do that. It's that simple. But no, Wall Street Journal. I go to the website, right? I'm looking around in my account. How the heck do I cancel this thing? And I see, I see the automatic renewal is on, and I'm sitting there wondering, so how do I get rid of this crap? So I go through, scouring through the frequently asked questions section. Like, oh, I guess I have to call them just to cancel this. Like, imagine that in the modern day and age, I just have to actually call them just to cancel it. So I call them up. I tell them what I want to do. I tell the machine what I want to do, that I want to cancel my subscription. And then I wait a few minutes, and then a lady comes on the phone to talk with me and ask what I would like. I tell her I want to cancel. And then it begins. It begins. The salesmanship begins. And it's just, it was so cringeworthy. So damn cringeworthy. So let's get down to this meat of this really, really stupid thing. The first thing, of course, like any salesman, tells me, "Oh, it's such a great deal, it's fantastic the opportunity you've been given to read our stuff, really high quality articles." And basically doesn't even mention my request. So actually gives the whole spiel about how great the Wall Street Journal is. I tell her that's fantastic and all, but I still want out. And then, oh God, here it comes. All of a sudden, in this era, sir, of fake news, this is really just one of the best sources you can have. And she gives this whole spiel about big importance of information, all this stuff, and how as a student, I should be aware of that. And okay, first off, that's just condescending because, first off, I don't think you have to be a student or anything to know that, yes, there's plenty of fake news out there. In fact, I'm a student, which should probably tell you that I probably am aware of that fact. And let's be real here, there is fake news, shit tons of it. And people like CNN and Fox News and MSNBC pump tons of that shit out every single day. Or even if the story is true, they do it without the proper context and background, or ignore big glaring things in the story that they should be talking about. I'm well aware of that. However, as I told her, I have plenty of news sources I can go to that are free and just as reliable, and quite frankly a lot more reliable than a Wall Street Journal. They will actually go into things in depth. Wall Street Journal is a lot of articles talking about how great something is while kind of passively going over the dangers of it. They'll chat up how good Facebook is without going over all the shady shit they do. But I don't get into it with her that, but I just tell her I have my own sources that are free. I would like to still cancel. But I see your points, ma'am. This lady still refused to cancel it. And then she gives some weird analogy about, oh, it's like candy. You could share it with your friends, even if you yourself are not going to use it. You could share it with your friends, and they'll have access to it, and it's going to be so great. And you really don't want to miss out on this. And this has been dragging on for like 10, 15 minutes now, and all I want to do is freaking cancel my subscription. So I tell her, that's great, but I still don't want it. I only got it for a class. I would like to cancel now. And then it took a very weird turn. Then it turned into what I'm just going to call fear tactics. She goes on another rant saying, "Oh, you're about to graduate, so that means in the future your boss is probably going to be using the Wall Street Journal. So you want to make sure you're reading it too, so you be up to date. You don't want to be, not talking with your boss about these type of things. You want to be up to date on these things." And then it goes even further, saying, "Oh, if you cancel right now, you won't get this deal in the future. You should be aware of that." At this point, the conversation's been going on for quite some time, and I was being very polite to the point. But I just had to tell her, "Ma'am, I have class today. I have finals. I'm trying to focus on. I don't have time to debate this all day with you. I just want my thing canceled." So after that whole little debate with her, I finally get the email. Yes, it's canceled. I was asked to do a survey. I didn't even bother because it's just a machine asking stupid questions. And look, I'm not gonna blame her. I'm pretty sure the sales manager there probably tells them, if someone tries to cancel, you better fight like hell to make sure they don't. This is just common sense. You can see this in any freaking store, probably around the world, but especially in America. I mean, salesmanship goes a certain way that, yes, you have to force things down people's fucking throat. And which is funny, something I just learned in this Business class, which something we already know is that, yes, you try and make it hard for customers to get out of service if you would like to retain them. Now, to me, this is just very annoying. It's a sign of the times we live in, that I had to debate with a freaking customer service representative to get what I want. Debate, argue with them, which is to cancel a subscription to something I don't want. I don't understand, and this is really just a rant for me because I know I don't do these things at all, but it's finals. I'm close to graduation, as she was well aware of. I'm trying to get things done. I'm having a debate with you about this, and the fact is $10 a month or whatever doesn't. I mean, $1 a week it doesn't matter. The point is, I don't want the product. I don't need you to tell me about fake news and all those other things. As I explained to her, there are plenty of reliable news sources that are free, that are completely free all around the world. All around the world. Whether you want BBC, RT, Democracy Now, if you like Fox News, there are all kinds of news sources out there. Some of them fake news, but as intelligent people, there are plenty of jackass people out there, but there are plenty of people who can cipher through the bullshit. Shift through it. We don't need the Wall Street Journal trying to hit us on the head, telling us this is reliable. Trust me, trust me. Besides, if I wanted to get the pro-capitalism spiel of the Wall Street Journal, I could just turn on MSNBC or CNN or any of that stuff. They'll probably be citing Wall Street Journal articles, which they often do. So yeah, it's just and the fact that she had to resort to fake news just made it, to me, extra pathetic. And then trying to tell me I'm missing out such a great deal. I don't know. We live in a very stupid time where corporations and, let's be frank, politicians in Washington D.C., a lot of them are really trying to shove the fear tactics of fake news down our throats. Of course, initiated by President Trump, who's had some points about this that are accurate, but then again, so has fake news. I mean, let's be honest here, not 100% of what comes out of these places like CNN is fake news. Like I said before, it can lack context. If they talk about the war in Syria, they probably won't tell you exactly how it started. Or if they talk about the war in Yemen, they won't tell you the gratuity of what the hell is going on over there and how the U.S. is involved. And we're so shocked at this whole Russia shit. I mean, think about it. We are a country that is helping Saudi Arabia completely destroy Yemen. We're talking this, as if you don't know, because it probably isn't mentioned on CNN and Fox News, they have a enormous cholera outbreak because Saudi Arabia is blockading them, not allowing medicine and food to get to these poor civilians. And then we are supplying them with the fuel and the bombs to keep bombing these innocent people. It is one of the, as the UN has acknowledged, and many other countries have acknowledged, is one of the worst humanitarian crises they've ever seen. And we don't give a shit. The US government does not care. That is Obama, that is Trump. They don't give a shit. But now we keep hearing this shit in the endless cycle of fake news of, UK double agent was poisoned by a Russian and he didn't die, but this is terrible. This is, you gotta put sanctions on Russia. Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? There's massacres going on in the Middle East, and we are helping in that. But no one's slapping sanctions on us because, well, we're the US. No one commands us what to do, right? And I guarantee you there's not a Wall Street Journal article talking about that. And if there is, I'd be very surprised. But I'm not gonna pay them to tell me that because, like I said, there are plenty of free news sources that will tell you that. So that's the end of my rant. At this, the Wall Street Journal, if you own it, or you're a subscriber, and that's great. I mean, that's your news source. You want to pay for it, go ahead. But I'm just gonna tell people, do not. I would advise, do not subscribe to this shit. If you want great news sources, I could tell you plenty, and I can guarantee you they go off facts. I could name a dozen of them, if not more, on both YouTube, Facebook, people with their own websites, things like The Intercept. Great places, great articles, free, and a lot more in-depth and thorough than the Wall Street Journal. So I would not recommend them at all. Fucking terrible. You may want to call them fake news, but I got a new term. How about hollow news?